Welcome to Real Estate Matters. Everything you want to know from buying a house to selling a house, from investing to flipping real estate. And now here's two ladies who know their way around a real estate listing, Tamika Bryant and Christy Porter.
Hey, Tamika.
Hey, Christy.
I feel like I haven't talked to you forever.
It's probably been like a whole week.
I know, but it's been a really long week in my world. How about you?
I don't know all about that. But
Maybe you just don't miss me like I miss you.
I really don't.
I think
Christy,
that's
I
what
really
it is.
I don't.
Yeah. Keeping it real. I appreciate you. So how are you selling? Let me hear your voice.
How you selling?
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I like our new intro, don't you?
No, but it's okay.
What?
I don't like anything that you like. It just works better for me.
I know.
You know,
I hear
you're that sister that, like my
Tread
little
lightly.
sister's just like, I just want to do something different. I just want to be opposite of everything you like. Just because.
So do you want to hear what I did this week?
No, but
Okay.
Are you going to tell us anyway?
This week,
Yeah.
yes. This week was my dad's birthday.
Cool.
And my dad is getting, closer to the age of 70. I don't know how that happens because I'm like forever 19.
Okay.
So I don't know how my dad ages and I don't,
Right.
but it's really fun. And so I took him to go paint pottery. Have you ever done that?
No, that's not what we do in the Bronx.
I'm going to take you to go paint pottery. It is so much fun. Seriously.
Pottery.
Because
Yeah.
what you do is you go into the store, right? And you have all these, there goes my earring.
No, as a kid,
we
I
have
learned
wardrobe
how
problems
to.
here.
As a kid, I learned how to do graffiti and art on the table and stuff like that. I didn't like pottery.
But what you could do is you could apply those talents to the pottery pieces.
Okay.
So you go into the store and they have all these pieces of pottery on the wall and you can choose whatever you want. So my dad chooses this mug,
Okay.
right? Big chunky mug. And the man, I don't know where this came from. Like he did this beautiful like bonsai tree on this mug. I can't wait
Christy,
to show you.
This has got to be going somewhere.
I know. My point is that we all have different talents and strengths in real estate. And that leads me right into our guest today. How'd you like that transition?
Christy.
Yeah. Our guest today is the one and only Marvin Lyman. Hello, Marvin. Welcome.
Hello.
And you are the president of the Black Economic Union of Greater Kansas City. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. We're pleased to be here.
Yeah. So tell us a little about yourself and what you do as the president of the Black Economic Union of Greater Kansas City. Tell our listeners what that is all about.
Sure. Well, the Black Economic Union of Greater Kansas City is the oldest community development corporation in Kansas City.
Okay.
It was actually founded in 1968 by Jim Brown and Curtis McClinton, so two football legends. And so part of our purpose is to serve urban communities and to focus primarily on development in black communities.
Okay.
And so that's essentially what we do is try to find cool, creative projects that will uplift the east side of Kansas City in particular.
Very good. And how long have you been the president?
Oh, about 50 days.
Awesome. We're glad you're on the show. Tell us what you've learned as the president so far.
Wow, I have learned that if I could be doing something, no, in all seriousness. No, we have learned that we have a unique challenge here in Kansas City with regards to housing, employment, job creation, and we are poised for that task. And it's going to really take a lot of people coming together, not just in the public-private sector, but also within the community itself, pulling different organizations and non-typical real estate development groups together.
What does that mean, non-typical real estate groups? What does that mean?
So if you look in the heart of the African-American community, one of the essential groups that we have is a conglomeration of churches.
Okay.
And those churches bring in lots of revenue per week, per year. And so what we're hoping to do is to help those churches align their theology with an economic policy and economic investment that will help bring the ministry to the marketplace and help the ministry really impact the lives of people with homes and jobs and businesses and so forth.
Tell me, are you, is this a full-time job? This is what is this voluntary, or tell me about that?
No, it's definitely full-time. the outgoing CEO was a gentleman by the name of Chester Thompson. Now, I will say that Chester Thompson volunteered quite a bit of his time at BEU. He retired from Allied Signal and was responsible for a lot of the diversity initiatives and diversity hires out at Allied Signal Honeywell. But he came on to BEU about 8 years ago and really stabilized the organization. And he did it pretty much pro bono. Now, me, on the other hand, I have a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old, two precious little girls that say, Daddy, particularly the older one says, Daddy, you don't work for free, you work for me. And so
I love it.
if you have
She's so
9 and
smart.
10-year-old girls, or if you have daughters, then you probably understand.
Right. I do have daughters, and I do understand that completely. And you know what? If they're that right now at 10, just wait about 5 years. It's going to even get better, more fun.
Well, I'm glad that there's some room available over at TMC, maybe one with my name on it.
There you go.
Well, one thing that I definitely want to acknowledge, because as a new real estate professional, when I came into the Kansas City market, my first opportunity to ever work in new construction was given to me by BEU and Don Kelly down in that particular district. Okay. So I worked on the Monarch Manor project, and that's where I learned all about real estate development and new construction and that kind of thing. And those opportunities weren't afforded to me in other markets. So it was, for people who were listening in, the importance of having a community development corporation is huge. And so I encourage our listeners and our viewers to kind of go out and connect with some of those CDCs that are there. Can you tell us more about some of the projects you guys are working on right now?
Sure, but before we segue about that opportunity piece, I think that's critically important, particularly with regards to Kansas City. If you look at the face of development, economic development in Kansas City, you don't see very many African Americans. You don't see very many Hispanics. You don't see any Native Americans that I know of. You don't see, or you see very few women that are participating at a high level.
Right.
When I say high level, I'm talking about the ownership, developer end of the real estate development game. Even when you drill down to the planning, from architectural and engineering to the legal team, and it's usually not until we get down to maybe the PR that maybe we'll pull some women in, or maybe we'll pull some of the diversity in, and then when you get down to the general construction, you don't have women and blacks and Hispanics and so forth as the GCs, and so if you drill down even further, we start to participate at the subcontractor level. But it's at such a minimal level that we never build the capacity for women and African Americans and Hispanics and so forth. And if we're never on that ownership end.
Right.
So one of the things that I'm pleased about is that you had the experience with BEU, and it was there to offer you that opportunity. We're looking to work in that respect to help create the capacity amongst African-American developers and other minority developers. I was fortunate to be good friends with Troy Nash, who works for Newmark Grubb Zimmer, and developed a great relationship with Hugh Zimmer. And so that was my introduction into commercial real estate development. They let me kind of play over there in the sandbox and learn a few of the tricks of the trade, and here we are. But in terms of projects that we have over in the South Vine District, that's roughly from 20th Street to 25th Street, from Woodland to Paseo. We have about a $284 million development plan that's called for in the Vine Street Economic Development Plan. And so we have several projects within that, but the gentleman is telling us we have to go to break, so I'm going to be quiet and continue after the break.
Thank you, Marvin, for paying attention to that with Brian. They're very good. Good way. All right, we're going to take a break with Tamika Bryan and Christy Porter and Marvin Lyman on Smart Companies Thinking Bigger Radio and TV25. We'll be right back.